Video 23. Connecting to the grid. Working with your local utility. When considering installing a grid connected system, be sure to contact your local utility company early on, before you purchase your equipment, to work out on an arrangement to connect to the system. You will need to file an application that provides sufficient detail to assure the utility that the electricity your PV system will be backfeeding onto the grid will be the same quality as grid power. They will also want assurance that your system won't continue to backfeed electricity onto the grid if the grid goes down. Net metering policies. Fortunately, many states have enacted net metering policies that credit customers for the electricity they feed onto the grid at the same rate the utility charges up to a point of surplus. The state laws vary with respect to their treatment of monthly and annual net excess generation. In some states, the surplus is granted to the utility. In others, the utility pays wholesale for the surplus. In a few, the utility pays the customer at their retail rate. Existing electric meters. Some utilities use existing electrical meters to keep track of the flow of electricity, provided they are capable of spinning backward and forward. Interconnection fees. Some utilities also charge an interconnection fee. This fee may be based on the size of the system or may be fixed with one price covering all the systems. They cover costs borne by the utility, such as the cost of inspecting a PV system after it is installed. Be sure to ask about interconnection fees upfront, and be sure to the contract is clear about any additional fees that may be charged to you over the course of the contract. Renewable energy certificates. Also be sure to ask whether the utility is claiming renewable energy certificates RECs for your PV systems. They usually do. RECs are financial instruments that can be sold to individuals wishing to offset their carbon emissions. They can be a valuable financial asset to some customers, especially those businesses that install PV arrays. Lockable disconnect, making the connection. Utilities may also require installation of a visible lockable disconnect, that is, a manually operated switch that allows utility workers to disconnect your system from the outside your home in case the grid goes down and they need to work on the electrical lines. Because grid connected inverters automatically disconnect from the grid when they sense a drop in line voltage or a change in frequency, this requirement is unnecessary. Regardless, it may still be required by your local utility and will add to your installation costs. Interconnection agreement, making the connection. Once a grid connected PV system has passed final inspections by the local housing department, you or your housing department must contact the utility. At that point, they will sign the interconnection agreement, granting you the right to connect to the grid. You can flip the switch and start generating electricity. Here ends video 23, Connecting to the Grid.